Hi, this is Owen Britton from the Studio Config, and I am here to show you some of the features of the new version of the Studio Config version 4. That's going to be released in a few days, probably out by the time you're watching this. And this is the main menu here. When you first launch the game, you've got your server connection buttons. This will connect you to a server of your choice, and you define that in the only form you have to fill out, which is the user form. And so that just connects you straight to your Scrim server, or whatever server you want, and connects you to the remote Archon. And these are just some deathmatch practice servers that I find useful for warming up. You can set them to whatever you want. Just email me and I'll tell you how. We offer a lot of support like that. You got your find servers, your create servers. The Studio Config help prints this menu to console. It's got a little message from us, and then it tells you all the aliases that have been introduced that you can use. And we'll get to those when we get into the server here in a minute, and also gives the website there, which you should also visit. And options, which is everything is the same except for keyboard, which we've changed a lot. This is the meat of the config, I think. We've also got FPS config stuff and lag control settings like KC config type style stuff. But this is what I think will add the most. Anyways, the movement is the same as it always has: jump, duck, walk, all that stuff. Combat, the only thing we did here is change the menu select to slot 5, so it shows you what each one does for sort of newer players, I guess. And then we have the pull grenades buttons. You see I have mine bound to mouse 5 here, and when I tap my mouse 5 button, it's going to pull out the HE immediately, and when I tap my flash button, it'll pull out the flash, etc. Instead of trying to tap through your slot 4 and then clicking on the nade you want. This is a lot quicker. It's just as quick as having it on quick switch, but with all your grenades. So I think that's useful. But of course, if you don't like it, you just leave it unbound. That's the great thing about having everything done through the GUI. You don't have to go mess with text files or anything. Communication, everything's the same. Studio config options here. This is where we've added a bunch of new content. We've got 1 key volume control, 1 key in-game voice control, 1 key brightness control, and those are all toggles that you can tap. Just bind them to a button, and volume changes the volume. In-game voice volume changes the people's mics in-game, their volume changes, and the brightness is the brightness control, obviously. We've got show scoreboard, and then we have a ZB team cache bind, so you can see your team's money, and a show scoreboard and ZB team cache bind, which does both at the same time. And I find that useful as a caller, because it lets me see who's doing well at what spots, because I know their spots, and who has what money, so I can sort of organize the buys really easily with that bind. And a little thing that sends out a spam for the config if you really like it. The demo VCR, I got this from a TF2 player who made this for TF2, and I modified it a good bit, but credit where credit is due. His name is Pill. So, but basically, what this allows you to do is fast forward and stop demos with binds, so you can skip the boring parts, skip freeze time and all that stuff. It makes watching demos a lot easier and less boring. We've got ESEA command binds to ready, unready, DB server, and .hp. And buy binds. I tried to avoid putting too many guns on here. I was really frustrated with all the buy binds that are out on like FPS Banana and shit, because they have all the guns. They have like pump shotties and stuff, and I'm not interested in that. I just want the stuff that I actually buy. So I tried to focus more on competitive environment and what guns get bought there. And I can also show you guys how to add things to this if you want to. If something's not on there that you want. Again, we offer a lot of support. But you've got HE, Flash, Smoke, Head Armor, AWP, AK-M4, Deagle, MP5, and USP Kit, and Chest Armor too. And you can obviously still use the buy menu or your automatic buys or whatever if that's what you prefer. We've got new no-clip bind, which is useful for going around with your team in a server and figuring stuff out, smokes and such. An autoexec button. I did this because when you change stuff in the GUI, sometimes your crosshair will go to a funky size that you're not wanting, and tapping your autoexec bind will do that. It's also useful for me when I'm coding, so it's in there. Auto spin and auto spin speed. I'll show you that when we get in the server, but it spins you around in circles at whatever speed you want, and that's really fun to mess around with, but don't use it in leaks because they don't like it. We've got a kill bind and an MM2 bind, which again I'll show you later. So when you load the config, you'll go through there and do all that, and then you can start playing. I'll just load into my Scrim server real quick. Trailing gaps. Alright, so here we are, Piranesi. Real quick, let me show you the auto spin speed toggle. You can see it's spinning me around in circles, and I can change the speeds at which it does that. And it also prints the speed in console, in chat. So, and the MM2 bind looks like this. It's a wall of text. I have mine bound to C, so when people are chatting in game, I can just shut them up really easily if my players are starting to get distracted, because it's really frustrating to watch my players fall into the trap of shit talking when they ought to be playing the game. So that's useful for me. And I really don't like Piranesi, so I'm going to change the map even though I'm doing this. But that lets me show you the map change aliases, which is one of the more useful things that is in the studio config and has been for a long time. If you want to change a map, you basically just type the map name in console and it changes it. So if I want to go to Dust 2, for instance, I just type Dust 2, and it changes the map. And a list of all of the map alias names, like if you're not sure if it's Strike or CPL Strike or something, they print into console when you do the studio config help down here. So they're all listed right here. Let's see. Oh, the in-game menu here is changed as well. It's different from what it usually is. We've got record demo and stop demo, which records up to 20 demos in order. Tap record and then stop and record and stop and record and stop up to 20 times if you want. It's good for movie makers and stuff, and also if you're playing a match, you don't have to, go move demos or anything like that.